What's going on, good people? This video, I replaced a door for a customer. This is an exterior door on their house, and uh, pretty straightforward replacement. There was a little bit of quirkiness to it, but ultimately, job got done, and I'm gonna walk you through the steps of how to do that. All right, welcome to the channel if this is your first time, and welcome back if this is your repeat time. This video, like I mentioned in the opener, a customer requested their door to be replaced. This is the original door. It did have a screen door on it, but the customer had taken that screen door off before I showed up. So what happened with this door, I contacted the customer prior to discuss the details, and what happened was that after discussing things and looking at the door, the original door, as you see here, had a split on it. And what had happened was somebody had attempted to break into the house, and the door jamb held up well. Because normally, when somebody tries to break into a house, the door jamb is usually the first thing that gives. But in this case, the actual door itself is what gave. And so, but the ultimately the people that were attempting to break in did not get in because the door held up. It was secured with, I believe, 3-inch screws, and so those 3-inch screws allowed the door jamb to connect all the way into the framing of the house. And so I believe that, in addition to maybe a couple other things, is what actually kept the door from actually just completely blowing out and giving away. The customer did mention that since this has taken place, that he did add some additional security, such as cameras, and he already had a security system in place. So cameras all the way around the house, at least on the exterior of the house. But back to this door install. So as you see, like I said, the door did split, but the door did not actually break. And so this is the new door that the customer had and that I installed. Similar door in nature, with the window, and it is a steel door. What I did advise the customer to do, as you see here, the customer had already purchased a new set of locks for the door, but I advised him to change this from a thumb lock, thumb screw, I believe that's the name of it, to a double keyed lock. And the reason being is, I had a coworker at previous point. His house got broken into from the back door. It had a door similar to this, and what they ended up doing, they ended up breaking the window, stuck their hand in, flipped the latch on the deadbolt, did the same for the doorknob, and walked right on in. If you have a double keyed lock, you can break the window, but it will still be difficult to get into the house because of the fact you won't be able to just stick your hand in and unlock the door. Like, you actually have to have a key on the other side of that door. So I advised him to do that, and he did say at some point he would go back and switch that out to get a double key lock for that reason. We did talk about some other measures regarding security, such as using longer screws. Obviously, I mentioned he had cameras. He added cameras. I don't know if he installed them or he had somebody else install them, but cameras were added to this to the area, and he did have some motion lights in the area as well. Granted, this I didn't ask, but the attempted burglary probably took place in the daytime, so motion lights would not have helped. He also has dogs at his house, so I'm not sure if the dogs were in the house or outside of the house, but I'm sure they caused a ruckus of noise that may have may potentially scared off the burglars. But I figure if they're still trying to kick in, they still attempted to kick in the door, they probably weren't as scared. All right, and then this is the door from the outside of the house. As you see, pretty straightforward door, typical door, similar to the original. Just the paneling is not painted at this point. This is the raw door from the store, and obviously the new door is cleaner because of brand new versus the existing door that had been there. He stated that the existing door had been there for 20 years because at a previous point, it too was also kicked in at some earlier point, and people managed to actually break in that time. And so this door, yeah, like I say, it held up, installed properly. Uh, a lot of times people they'll use just the screws that come with it instead of using longer screws. But I emphasize to you all, use longer screws in your doors, at least 3 inches, 3.5. In some places you can actually find a 4-inch long screw, which is very, very sufficient to hold the door in place. And so when it comes to installing those screws, so on the hinge side of the door, I put a long screw in on each of the hinges. If you really want to try to step it up, you can put 2 long screws on each of the hinges, but usually I do at least 1. And then on the latch side of the door, so that's the side of the door with the doorknob on it, I put them at the deadbolt and lock, as well as you might have one at the top and one at the bottom as well. And so that way the full length of the door is covered with long screws. And so, like I say, 3 to 3.5 inch. If you really want to have extra sound security, you can put a 4-inch screw in there. You could also even go with nails. For me, it's easier to emphasize screws because when it comes to replacing them, it's easy to back those screws out. Versus a nail, there's no way to really get a nail out except cutting it. And so that's why I emphasize screws. But I have seen doors being nailed in to the door jamb instead of being screwed in. All right, that wraps things up for this video. If you have any questions about installing a door, feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section below. I am not sure, you may ask, or somebody may be inquiring, what store did he get this door from? I will say he did get it from a big box store. Because they're not sponsoring this channel, I choose not to call their name, but the typical home improvement big box store that is blue in color. All right. Any questions, drop those down below. If you haven't subscribed, please be sure to do so down below. Also have some recommendations for videos that you would like to see. So till next time, peace out.